Chris, it's James Adair. We're here again.
Hello.
Hello.
Again.
Welcome back to another, are we in the 30s yet? Our 30th episode?
This is 29.
I jumped the gun. All right, well, never mind. I'll get excited next time. Our 29th episode of the Equity Accelerator podcast. My trusty co-host, Chris Angel from Upper Washington State.
Upper Washington.
And I am James Adair, licensed loan originator from living in the Portland, Oregon metro area, licensed to originate loans in Oregon and Washington. And this is our time to have a public conversation.
Yes.
And it is the Equity Accelerator podcast where we dissect opportunities and ways to accelerate your personal finance position, accelerate your credit profile, accelerate your position in real estate, accelerate your mortgage business if you're a mortgage professional listening to this, accelerate your real estate business if you're a real estate professional. So that's kind of,
we just accelerate everything.
I mean, that's just
There's nothing we can't accelerate the equity of in this conversation.
You know, by the time, if you listen to all 29 episods, you will be so fat, you'll be approaching like supersonic speeds of equity acceleration, like I'm sure.
An equity MBA. It's like, I see a side program, maybe a course like the equity MBA.
I know that's the direction everything's going now. Online,
right.
Info products.
I like it. I think it's good. Well, let's talk, speaking of equity, let's talk. You have an annual review that you do.
Oh my God, we're doing a ton of these. So every one of my clients who participates, I mean, sometimes my clients don't return my phone calls after a while, but most of them do. Yeah. And I think one of the real values of becoming a client of mine is that we will form a larger relationship with you. We don't, the idea is that most lenders are super transactional and they can be valuable to you in that 30-day window in which you need to acquire a mortgage and then they're gone.
Right.
We want to be valuable for that 30-day window, but we also want to be valuable for the 30 years after that when you are left holding the bag on your fresh, shiny new mortgage. How do you manage making this payment every month in a way that supports what you really want to accomplish financially in life, right?
Yeah.
And so we do an annual client review. We call it the annual real estate and money review. Okay. And we use a 7-step questionnaire process. So we have like the same questions that we ask everybody. We just want to stay up to date on what's changed in their life, what's changed in their income, their employment, their work. So we want to make sure, we want to make sure, maybe they have a new kid, maybe they got married. I don't know. Like we want to keep up to date on all these different things that are happening in their lives, and to make sure that not just their mortgage, but there's opportunities to bring in other professionals to help support. Oh, you had your third kid. Like, have you had your will updated? Have you reviewed your life insurance? Do you even have life insurance? So it's really just like a basic street level opportunity for me to check in and make sure that my clients are fully supported.
These are like 7 data points that like when the answers come in, you can actually filter for, is there an opportunity? Is there something in here that would help them based on the answers they gave you? I'm
convinced that everybody after having this conversation is helped. Whether or not we do a refinance or help them buy another piece of property, it's just part of the relationship over time. We really, really want to help them manage their cash flow and manage their debts, manage their home equity. So with the 7 areas that we have kind of solved for are safety, liquidity, rate of return, tax impact, hidden costs, diversification. That's 6. I'm forgetting the 7th right now.
It's a special one. You have to call in to get the 7th.
You got to call it. Yeah, you got to call in for the 7th one. And it's protection, right? So those are the 7 areas we want to make sure that you are covered. And so we make sure they're in the right mortgage product. The product that you got when you acquired the house may no longer be the right product. So we want to check in on that. We check in for changes. We want to see if they feel like they're withholding enough on their taxes. And I'm looking for opportunities to connect people to tax planners, to estate planners, to wealth managers, insurance professionals, all
Right.
these things that people know they need to do, but and so oftentimes that's my goal. It's not a sales call. I'm not calling my clients to sell them something. I'm just trying to really collect a bunch of information and identify areas in their life that they may have ignored, or something new that's popped up that we can jump on and help.
I love how
Support.
active it is. It feels like there's this, I think the world has gotten very isolated in a lot of ways. Like we do these transactional moments and then we go back to our isolated life. But this partnership, this activeness about you helping me remember what's going on financially, how are things, like I love the participation, the activeness of that, because I think otherwise we just forget about it. We forget about our mortgage and then we miss financial opportunities.
That's right. Yeah, I think, So I think that's a huge aspect to the service. And I think it's hard when someone sits down with me at first and I always try to sort of pitch this to people when they're sitting down with me, like, here's what it means to become a client of ours, and here's where I fit in, and here's what you can expect from me moving forward. And I show them this stuff, and some people are like, that's amazing. And some people are just sort of like, okay, like, I guess. But, and then after they go through it a year or two, then they really it clicks in, right? And they get it, the value of it. And I'm convinced that ongoing management is where hundreds of thousands of dollars of value are identified. And it's not necessarily even through the mortgage.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's one of the questions I ask people is, are you paying extra on your mortgage?
Like an
if yes, how much?
Yeah, right.
A lot of people like to do that. They're like, yeah, I'm paying $500 a month extra. I'm like, okay, cool. Is that the best place to put your money? Maybe, but are you sure? Overpaying your mortgage is a really common thing. And it's, I think, a very misunderstood thing.
Right. Yeah. Big time.
And so just helping them repay this mortgage in a way that really serves them is the name of the game.
So how does that work as a review? How does it work? Do I call you? Do you come out to my house? Like, how does the review process work?
Totally exact. It's just over the phone, and we can do a screen share over the phone. It takes 15, 20 minutes, sometimes 30 if we really dive deep. And another cool thing about this is that this is a way, this is sort of the foundational component of my business. And this, if you're listening to this and you're like, that sounds amazing, I wish my loan guy would do this for me. Right. Reach out to me, because I can plug you into my system and adopt your mortgage. Even if we didn't write that loan for you, we're happy to perform this service for you, in the idea that, people will get 5 or 10 loans throughout their life. Maybe this is their second one, but if I can step in and provide enough value for you that maybe we'll win the next one. Right.
Right.
So I'm happy to invest that amount of time in someone who's not my client or or got their loan somewhere else, and help plug them into the system. The first day you reach out to me and we do that'll be your anniversary of doing it again the next year. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And the adoption process isn't necessary. We use that word lightly, but it's not like there's no conversion of wherever your mortgage is now to wherever it's going to be. It's just that I just need the information. I need your contact information, and your property address, so I can start to gather data about how much you owe and how much your property may or may not be worth. And then I can just I can ask you the questions and keep you I'll call you a year later and see if anything's changed. Right. I think people, when I was an real estate agent, we'd call, a lot of times home buyers would be orphaned buyers. Right. Because their agent ghosted them. They haven't heard from their agent in years. And
exactly.
Same thing happens, I'm sure, inside of mortgages, where people got a loan, they haven't heard from their loan officer ever, because it was transactional. And there's this adoption of these orphaned mortgage holders.
They're just fending for themselves.
Right.
So scary, and they're just it's like the Sarah McLachlan song, start singing, and I just want to wrap my arms around them.
Yes. Well, but I do think that because of the way you look at mortgages as a financial tool and not just this thing that we do to get a house, like it does, like there are all sorts of opportunities. Like you said, there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that people could gain, but there's also hundreds of thousands of dollars of missed opportunity when people don't review options.
Totally. And there's hundreds of thousands of dollars that people can lose when they jump the gun and refinance when they maybe should wait.
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars, because it's all about setting a new trajectory.
Yeah.
And over time, as the trajectory changes, your gap widens, and the gap is that's the benefit. So these things, sometimes if you can set the trajectory 5 degrees better one day, it's like, well, what if we improve your credit, or what if we, instead of paying this debt off, this one's going to be gone in 18 months. Let's just keep paying that and not absorb it.
Yeah.
Then we're going to, instead of putting you on a 5% trajectory, we just put you on an 8% improvement. Right. And over time that creates a massive, massive difference.
That's amazing. I love it. That is leverage right there. That's leverage.
Leverage of a relationship. Yes. And so, I have great professional partners that I love to bring in to the conversation at the right opportunity. Right. So
like financial planners, insurance people, things like that.
Let me help you. Help me help you.
Jerry Maguire.
Yes, exactly. That's from. I just saw the preview for they're making a new Top Gun. It's called Top Gun Maverick.
No way. Wow. Some goodies, some oldies there.
It looks amazing. I'm all in. I'm definitely going to see it in the theaters.
Well, if people are orphaned by their loan officers, they haven't heard from them in decades, and they want to do this type of an annual real estate and money review.
Annual real estate money review. Call me up, hit me up, find me online, pdxhomeloan.com. And my name, James, at pdxhomeloan.com is a way to begin that process. Let me adopt you. Come be a part of our happy little mortgage family.
Yes.
There's room. There's plenty of room.
Plenty of room. Awesome, James. Good stuff. Thank you for all you do. Until next time, take care. See ya.